All right, y'all, I'm back. Y'all know what I'm here to do. I'm here to change somebody's life. Hopefully, I can help somebody out. Earlier, I was trying to diagnose electrical issue. Maybe there's a short or something every time I hit a bump. But I disconnected my battery cables, took all of it, took everything, the ground, the positive, the grounds on the frame as I showed earlier. But there was something that I noticed that I just paid attention to a little while ago. So I'm gonna flip it back around so you can see. Give me a second. All right, so I'm getting a service shifter error and it just started last week. So what I decided to do was, I checked on a lot of forums and everybody was talking about, you know, different issues it could be with the shifter and everything else. But I noticed that when I hit a bump, that's when it would start. I turned the engine off or pulled the battery cable the first time it happened, put it back on, left it off about 15 minutes, put it back on, check engine light went away, service shifter issue went away and everything. So I'm good. Then I went out of town on the way back, hit a bump, and guess what? It started again. And it seemed to do it more when I got the wheels turned to the left, which is odd. But anyway, so I had the truck off overnight because obviously I was home. Got up next morning, boom, check engine light gone, service shifter light gone again. I'm like, okay. So then I took it out yesterday, hit a hard bump because South Carolina roads are bad, and guess what? Started again. Got to my destination, turned the truck off to talk to someone, cranked it back up, service shifter light issue was gone, but the check engine light was back, still on. Went to bed last night, woke up this morning, now the check engine light and the service shifter light is out. So it could be an electrical issue. So I stopped by the local dealership here and talked with a few of the mechanics because, you know, I talk to them a lot, hang out there. And I just wanted to see if they've had this issue on any other Jeep Gladiator or JL, because I know that the Cherokees used to have this issue too back in the day, like in 2015, something like that. So I wanted to know if they had the JLs or JTs remember that, and they said they haven't yet. So which in my mind, I kind of believe it's electrical issue, a loose connection, bent tab or something somewhere. So I decided, okay, well, I'll go ahead and try to unseat. And even at the dealership, they said that they're all just going to unseat some connections and seat them back to make sure everything is good. So I decided to do that. So while I'm down, I decided to do a little video to let y'all see some of the components. So there, where your air cleaner are, your power steering components and all this stuff over here, your headlights, your LED headlights, your ballast and all that over there, so you can see the shock and the springs. Everybody knows all that stuff. And your O2 sensor. And I dropped down the backup battery for the auto start, not because I had to, but I figured because I'm under here, might as well shoot some stuff, some video, let y'all see what it looks like. So there you got your, of course, just to show you there's two ground connections there. Make sure those are tight. Anything you're diagnosing, whether it's electrical, here's a service connector that goes back up to your battery, and you can see it comes up right there, and it comes across and comes up here, and it goes to some other connection back in there somewhere. But either way, I unseated that one, seated it back, unseated that one, seated it back, checked the tabs. That one didn't take that one off. When I realized it goes to the O2 sensor, I said, well, there's no point in bothering that because that's not an issue. All this the LED. So mainly the ones that I didn't have to bother this because this is to my LEDs, well, stock ones, but the aftermarket ones now. So no need to bother that. So really the main ones I unseated was this one, and that one. And check the tabs. You can see there's a ground here, but the ground there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's not burnt, frayed. I mean, it's grounded to the block back there. So you can see that there's nothing really wrong with that. No frays or no damage there. And I mean, there's a lot of mud up in here from off-road, but I don't really see anything that jumps out at the eye other than the stuff that I've already put my hands on. So, I'm gonna do a little bit more diagnosing, check the other side, and if I find something, I'll come back to y'all. Now, when I had this electrical issue on the trail, I had my buddies from Twister Crawlers helping me out, trying to get me back right so I could get home. And one of the guys in the club, he said, hey man, one of your cables is loose. I said, oh man, I don't know why it's loose. Well, so I'm putting my battery cables back on. Obviously I got the top one tight, got my circuit breakers and everything to my winch and everything, tighten up all the connections there, make sure nothing loose is there. There's the backup battery, ground cables and everything, got those back on. But I went and put my ground back on, and here's my other ground to my winch and the stock cables right there. And I tightened it all up all the way, and then I moved it and I noticed something. Look at that. It's not even tight. Well, I mean it's tight, but it's not tight around the post. And this is tight as I can get it without breaking it, which I'm not gonna do because then I did the whole thing. So I'm going to have to put something down in between there so I can tighten it up for now until I can get to an auto parts store. I probably have to fabricate something out of metal, like a piece of a sleeve of a pipe or something, just to get down in there to tighten it up. But I don't know whether that's an issue. So if anybody's having an electrical issue, electrical short, because I noticed that I would have this problem every time I hit a bump, like I said earlier. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I'm gonna fix this and see what happens from there. But I would advise everyone with a JL or JT, or you know what, any Jeep or rig, vehicle, truck, car, for that fact, check your battery post, because I have this as tight as I can get it. If I had my socket, what do I do with my socket? If I had my socket, I would show you, but I have it tight as it can be, and it is still not tight enough where I can just pick it right off. And that's pretty bad when I can tighten it all the way up and pick it right off. All right, so I went and grabbed my socket because I wanted to show you all how tight I had this, just to show you. And you can see it's so tight that when I turn the ratchet, it moves the entire thing. And you can see right there that it's all the way tight. Not that I don't trust myself, and I know y'all trust me. I hope, think, maybe. Anyway, just wanted to show you that it is all the way tight, and as tight as it can be. And look at that, still not tight. So maybe every time I hit a bump or something, something's coming loose. I don't know, but I'm gonna get something and put in between there, try to get it all fixed up so I can get it back tight. All right, so here's the consensus. All right, so check it out. Here's the consensus. I was told that even though the first time this happened was when I was on the trail, that because it's got those scrape marks right there, that means that we were trying to clean the battery off, which we weren't, because I tried explaining them the first time I had ever taken the terminals off was at the trail when I first had the electrical issue. So what I did was I went and grabbed one of these shims right here, and I'm gonna see if I can put that shim on there, and that'll tighten it down. So, you can see we put a little shim right there. You see it sitting up a little bit right there. So, well, we'll see how that does. I mean, it still seems like it's loose, but we'll see how that does in a couple of days. And then if it doesn't work well, we'll throw a bolt in there. If that doesn't work, then hey, the only other option is new battery. I just didn't want to mess this up because it's got a sensor in there. So I really don't want to mess that up. So I'd rather buy a new battery before I have to buy that. Because we already know the post is bad. So we don't have to buy a battery and that. I don't want to have to buy both of them. So we'll see. Try it out. Alright y'all, as you know, I was trying to track down an electrical issue in the last back here. I'm going to recap and show you what I did real quick. And show you how it's been doing. And we're going to get out of here. Alright y'all, can see where I put the shim in right there. You can see it's still tight. Everything's still holding up pretty good so far. Can't complain. I've been hitting a lot of bumps, a lot of bad roads, because we are in South Carolina, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. So I'm about to hit this road trip and we'll see what it does. All right, y'all, it's hot out here, so I'm gonna say what I gotta say and I'm gonna get out of here because I got a road trip to get on. So, as y'all know, I managed to fix a problem. I'm not 100% sure it's the problem, but I still fixed a problem with the shim. It's something that I could say to myself, I probably should have found right off the bat because it's simple, but before I unseated and reseated everything. But you know what? It is what it is. I found the problem and I fixed it. Maybe down the road, it'll be a lot better if I got another battery, but hey, this one's still working and I don't have any problems out of it, so we're gonna see what this does. So leave a comment in the comments below if you had an electrical problem with your rig and you fixed it some other way. Maybe I still have a problem that however you fix yours, you can still help me fix a problem with mine that I might still have. But hopefully I pointed something simple out that somebody can just pop the hood open, put their hands on it and say, oh, there's a problem right there. I don't know. But hopefully this video was something that may help somebody else. We trying to change lives around here. That's what we do. All right, see y'all later. So here's the backup battery. It's only 3 bolts, one there, and one there and one there. You drop it down and this thing comes down. It looks almost like a lawnmower or a ATV battery. Now I've never taken one out of a JL or JT before, so I'm not gonna take all this cover off just to show you what all it looks like, because for all I know it might be one. But anyway, so here's your connections. There's your negative, there's your positive, and I mean that's pretty much it. There's not much to it. Just wanted y'all to see what it looks like. And obviously it's easier to get to if you have aftermarket fenders. I mean 4 bolts, I drop my fender down, 3 bolts right there, all of the connections are right here. Now if you got still the stock fenders on there, it's gonna be a little bit of trouble to get to because you got to get the inner fender liners out of your wheels, which means you have to not only unbolt them but unclip them and then get them out of the stock fenders. So I just wanted to give y'all a little insight on what that looks like. Nothing else much to see here, but this is what it looks like empty. Of course, obviously if you're running aftermarket fenders with no fender liners at all, this stuff is easily accessible anyway, but it looks better. And there's a bottom view. You see that's the bottom tray of the actual battery up there, so it actually sits underneath your stock battery, which is there, and it sits underneath.